Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Here we go again. The following video contains racial content. It is probably not for children under the age of 14, maybe 15. Depends on how strong you are. This video will contain the topic of racism on the highest of levels, and I don't want to offend anyone, so let me apologize right now. This is also like my 5th, 6th, 7th, maybe my 8th or 9th time making this video. And in the event that this becomes a blooper reel, you get the gist, like the other ones have become or have been deleted. So, racism by default. That is the title of this video, in case I'm watching this right now. Racism by default. If everything goes right, this is the actual video that I'm trying to shoot. Alright, so racism by default. What is racism by default? First and foremost, let me put it to you this way. Most racist people are angry at people for the one thing in the universe that no one has control over. It's two things in the universe that you truly don't have control over, but one thing you can definitely change. The one thing that you definitely cannot change is your race. Alright? Biologically, you might be able to change it on paper, but biologically you can't change the color of skin that your ass is born in. Alright? So you can't really pick your gender, and you can't pick your race. Those are the two inevitable factors from birth that you can't change until you become 18. All right. Now, at 18, if you decide you want to be transgender and you go from male to female or female to male, you can do that because they have technology to help your ass out with that. If you, I guess, if you like surrender to bleach bathing for like 90 years or so, you may be able to lighten up your skin tone. All right. My natural skin tone is right there. All right. I don't wear long sleeve shirts, so I'm quite fully brown. I don't like long sleeve shirts until the wintertime. It's actually winter here in Virginia, but that's neither here nor there for this video. So, racism by default. You hear it all the time. You hear it from your white friends, you hear it from your black friends, you hear it from your Asian friends. I am not a racist. Most of my best friends are black, and that's from whites and Asians, and you hear it from black people the same. I'm not racist. Most of my best friends are white or Asian, and each ethnicity that I just said says that same shit. Alright? Which technically still makes you racist by default. You might not be racist on the level of you're going to unite the right and come to Charlottesville and plow all over people with cars and burn the goddamn city down to the ground. You're not going to do that. But that's a different type of racism. That is a racism based in hatred alone. Racism by default is that hall pass, walk the line, I'm not racist, but I say racist shit kind of thing. Alright? If that doesn't make sense, it will hopefully by the time I'm done with this video. Alright, so as you guys know, I am part Cherokee, I am part black, I am part white. So I am very multicultural. I say this every time I make a video about racism and how I don't have the right to be a racist. If you see pictures of me or my family or my nieces or my nephews, you'll see that we're all different shades of brown. Some of us are shades of high yellow and off-white. They're the lucky ones. I'm high yellow, but I'm not off-white. If I was off-white, I'd be off the fucking chain. Trust me on that. But anyway, the point is, a lot of racial shit happens to people because somewhere, somehow, someone decided that they did not like people of color, or they did not like white people, or they did not like black people, or they did not like other people of other colors or other ethnicities, and they decided, when I have babies, I'm going to raise my kids the same way I was raised, to hate all you motherfuckers. Every fucking one of you down the racial spectrum that don't look like me. That don't live like me. That don't have money like me. That don't live in a trailer, or don't live in a hut, or that don't live in paradise like me. But because your skin tone is a little bit darker, or your skin tone is a whole lot lighter, I'm raising my child to hate you. This is where it begins, people. It starts at home. If you wake up the next morning and say, I'm going to raise my kid to be a racist, that's what you do. This is why the cycle never ends. This is why when I go for an audition for a kung fu movie, somebody comes in there who's not as good, but their skin tone's lighter, and the company goes, we can give the black mixed guy the job, or we can give the white guy the job and make more money. you best believe your sweet ass, the white guy's going to get the job. If it's a black run company, because that's kind of what happened here with me, and no one will back me or deny it or entice it. But yeah, racism by default. It's ran by a couple who are of color, and one of them happens to be mixed, so you don't give the mixed guy the job. And 19 years later, after lying to me in my face saying we don't make kung fu movies, there's been a fuck ton of kung fu movies coming out of that studio in Petersburg. Am I mad about it? You're damn right I am, because I could have been working. You know, I asked for every job under the sun and couldn't get one, and I never went back. You know, you're not gonna let me do what I want, which is be in front of the camera. You're not gonna let me clean up so I can learn the business. Why are you here? With the lie of Hollywood East. Again, that has nothing to do with here or there, but it has something to do with racism by default. See, racism by design in itself is systemic. It is made so that the rich get richer, the poor stay poor, and the middle class cruise in the middle. But the middle class can easily take a shift up or down. But it just depends on what racist asshat likes you or not. If a racist asshat is in charge, you can best believe that if you don't like people of color, if your skin might be brown, your ass might be going down, and you may never climb to the top. You hear about these videos in Hollywood, how racist happens all the time. And you don't want to believe that shit, because you think that in a world that after 9/11 supposedly brought us all together, something else has ripped us apart, and that is straight racism. And the reason that is because racism by default is really simple. I don't hate you because you're black, but I don't want my daughter dating you, because I don't want any mixed kids running around in our bloodline. I don't hate you because you're Asian, but I don't want my son procreating with you because you're a hot Asian chick and I want you for myself. Or, we don't want no mixed Asian kids running around. Oh, well, here's a fucking news flash for you. Native Americans are actually fucking Asian. Go figure. So even if you're black and Native American, you still have Asian in your bloodline. Whether you like it or not, you can't deal with it. Go read your fucking history book. Racism. Something that you cannot escape, but something you can fight. Something that you cannot be mad at people for not having a choice in what family they're born in. Something that you can combat easily without being so pissed off that, oh, I don't like black people because black people don't like me. I don't like white people because white people don't like me. I don't like Asians because they don't like me. Well, maybe it's because you don't know what their experience is. And here's where you become racism or racist by default. A lot of people are racist because they had bad experience with people of different colors. All right, I can tell you from firsthand experience of my own, I've had more racism thrown at me by more black people than I've had from white people or Asian people. I can count 1 or 2 bad Asian experiences. I can count 3 or 4 bad white experiences, and I can count on both hands and toes how many reverse racisms I have had because of my multi-ethnicity, and because some people are mixed and don't know that they're mixed, and people just tend to either go one way or another, which is another video on a whole nother thing that I've already covered in how my family doesn't acknowledge their Cherokee or their white side, and they just want to live their black side. Which I'm not passing judgment, but I embrace all 3 sides. Probably not the white side so much, because there's really nothing I can really do to be white. That's just a fact. It's not me being a racist. It's just I'm never going to be white. I have white blood, yeah, but I'm never going to be white. It's not going to happen. I have Cherokee blood. I have a better chance of going into the reservation, getting some Native American regalia, put on some war paint, do the war dance, and call it a day. As for black, I got every bit of right. I can walk through the projects, hold my shit together like I'm a Billy Badass, tell people off, and kick them in the face. Because I'm black, and I can do that. Now, that was all in fun. Here's how life really works. I can systemically go into a white world, and I can pretend to be white. I can dye my skin if that was possible, if I was rich enough. You know, I can change a little bit. But I like being high yellow, and I'm either going to be accepted by white people or I'm not. Now, the majority versus the minority of white people are going to be like, cool beans, dude. What do you mix with? Same thing with Asian people. Cool beans, dude. What What do you mix with? You'd be surprised at how many times I get that from blacks and whites and Asians. But black people, on the other hand, we have a lot of self-hatred, and a lot of them are like, oh, you're a half-breed. Newsflash for you, fella. Every American-born black person, unless your parents immigrated from anywhere in Africa, your ass is mixed too. You might not want to admit that. My nose is running. But yeah, it's a thing. It is a thing. But you're racist by default when you decide that you want to hang with racist people. And you start falling into their racist ways. You start falling into their racist actions. You start falling into, I seen this black chick the other day. She was like 3 shades darker than my friend on the color wheel. So she wasn't like black, but she was next to black. Where my friend is brown and high yellow, but this chick was black, but she wasn't super black. So that's your racism by default, because you're falling into a racist crowd with racist people, and you're hanging with them, and you're mocking them, and you're saying the same shit that they're saying, and you're not catching yourself, and you're slowly sliding down that slippery slope of becoming a fucking racist. Alright? And I can tell you from experience also, I've had some white friends that I would have never thought in a million years were racist until we got out of high school. You know who you are. Very pretty girl. She defended me from a racist teacher only a few years later after high school to basically be a racist herself. And I'm not sure if she chose not to acknowledge me or if she just decided we ain't in high school no more. I don't have to save this black bastard, so fuck him. Now, maybe she wasn't a racist. Maybe she was having a bad day. Maybe I'm overstepping. But you know, the thing is, when you have friends and they're of color and you don't acknowledge them because you just don't have to, people pick up shit like that. No, I don't know who let this damn dog out. But you know, the thing about being a racist by default is that default in itself is like a neutral position. Because you have your default character. In any video game, you have a default character. And you have the guy you unlock, or you can create your character. It's kind of like that. So if you're racist by default, it's because... Sorry, dog's pissing. It's because, you don't know how to catch yourself. And I'm going to have to make a second part of this video because the dog just came on screen and I don't feel like cleaning up dog poop on camera. So, be seeing you.